The entire month of December, the Saints have been at home. They conclude that 6-month homestand tonight before going on the road January 2nd as they dive back into back play at Manhattan. Cornell will get Ivy League play started in the first of the new year as well, January 4th, in fact, at Princeton. So the final non-conference tilt for both. The Saints an opportunity to get their record above 500, and Cornell looking for a little momentum heading into conference play. Price to jump for the Saints, opposite of Emily Pape, and possession controlled by Siena. Siena's only true guard available in this game is KB Hadley, the junior from Palmdale, California.
Yeah, Hadley is going to have a lot of minutes in good play because Siena does not have any natural ball handlers besides her.
It is Hadley handling, and she'll turn it over with the travel. Cornell's first trip down the floor tonight. Engels. This is Pape. Summer Parker Hill probing against Brown. Loses her dribble with 12 on the shot clock. Pape, who averages 13 points a game, jump shot no. Sapala the rebound. Hadley. Quickly to the top of the key. Sapala now back to Hadley. Brown from the elbow. Finds a cutting Sapala, misses the layup. Knocked off of Brown and out of bounds to the Big Red.
Yeah, that was a really good move to the basket by Sapala. Great find by Brown. Sapala is usually automatic with that shot, but missed that opportunity.
Siena will pick up full court pressure. Angles into the front court, the freshman from Gulf, Illinois. Quite a few players from the state of Illinois on the Cornell roster. This is Summer Parker Hill from Chicago. The kick out to Engels, who knocks it down.
That's going to be the strategy for the Big Red. Get it inside and then maybe kick it back out if they sense that double team. Great inside-out pass.
Cornell shooting just 23% from the outside this season. So a hopeful sign for the Big Red, knocking down their first attempt from distance. Siena looking for its first points of the game, and they come compliments of Anaja Brown.
With Jackson out of the game, Siena needs to find offense from someone else besides Sapala. Hopefully, for their sake, it is Anaja Brown today.
Who is averaging fewer than 8 points per game, but certainly capable of being a double-digit scorer. Sapala comes up with a steal, loses her dribble. There's Hadley. Sapala will pull the trigger from outside and connect.
She is probably the most well-rounded skill player in the MAC. Able to play inside, outside, very effective three-point shooter.
First bucket of the night for Sapala. Siena has its first lead of the game. Parker Hall with 8 to shoot. Cornell working the baseline. Engels off the mark. And Conde comes away with it. Sapala doesn't have numbers. Nearly lost out of bounds. Rescues it for Hadley, who does fall out of bounds as Siena turns it over to Cornell. Emily Gardner is in her first season as head coach of the Big Red. Formerly the head coach at Trinity College in Connecticut from 2016 until this past season. She took Trinity College to the NCAA tournament back-to-back years, prompting her promotion to Cornell.
Yeah, she won 120-plus games at Trinity, so she really knows what she's doing.
Beating the post for Parker Hall. No, Sapala the rebound, her second of the game. Sapala feeding the post for Brown. Brown backing in against Parker Hall. Brown the bucket.
Brown off to a really solid start. She looks very aggressive,
Siena fell asleep on their transition defense.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. You know, Pape ran to the rim and got a direct pass with no pressure at all.
That'll aggravate a coach after a made basket, not getting back and establishing your defense. Siena in front by 2. The entry pass from Brown is picked off. Now Cornell looking to run. Here's Engels out in front. Engels lays it in. Engels has 5 points, and Cornell ties the score at 7.
Yeah, Engels with really good body control on that. She slithered by Brown and was able to get the shot off.
Zariah Price gets to the block. No good. Rebounded by Engels. Kelsey Langston off of a Saint. As we take a look at Terry Prim in his first season as head coach of the Saints, spent 3 years as the associate head coach behind Jim Jaber. Coach Prim, 49 years old, from Detroit originally.
Yeah, let's have a shout out to the Jabers out in California. Jude was happy to have gone to the Lakers-Warriors game.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah, on Christmas Day. So
he saw quite a game.
Oh, sure did. So shout out to the Jabers, Jim, Angie, and especially Jude.
Always want to shout out the Jaber family. Austin Reeves with the game winner in that one. That was a lot of fun to watch on Christmas.
Yep.
Adley calling out the play. Zapala off the square and in. Zapala has 5 points. Saints back in front, and Cornell turns the ball over on the inbound. Siena and Cornell are playing each other for the 4th time in series history, but this is the first meeting in 44 years. Have to go back to December of 1980. Siena won all 3 of those games, which were played in 3 consecutive seasons. In fact, the previous meeting, Siena was at the Division II level. And Brian, if we flash back to December of 1980, what was making news in 1980? The Iran hostage crisis. Of course, the Winter Olympics hosted in Lake Placid, just a few hours north of here. Ronald Reagan elected president over Jimmy Carter, who just passed away yesterday. America's longest lived president, 100 years old, and also Pac-Man was released.
'80. One other thing, Kelly O'Donnell was born in 1980. One fun fact that was not on the board.
Groundhog Day of 1980, that's right. Siena extends its lead to 5, the Saints with its largest lead of the game. Cornell struggling to find any rhythm on this offensive set. Backing it up with 7 on the shot clock. Langston's going to go to work driving against Hadley. Throws it up off the backboard. Misses the rim, so the shot clock didn't reset, but didn't matter as Zapala came up with the ball. Conde for 3, and she's got the range.
Coach Prim has to be ecstatic with the start from both Conde and Richardson knocking down the threes.
Gardner needs a timeout. Anna Conde had made just 1 3-pointer this season, 1 for 4 coming into this contest before knocking that one down. And Brian, something you said was that Siena is going to have to find offense without Baby Jackson on the floor. She averages 15 points a game. That's a lot to make up. So far, they're finding other ways to get the ball in the hoop.
Yeah, definitely Anaja Brown having a strong offensive game will help, but getting somebody like a Zoe Richardson or an Anna Conde to be able to put up double figures is going to be a big, big help to the Saints' cause.
Zai Kilgore into the game, running the point for the Big Red. Kilgore flashing at the top of the key. Over to Rachel Kaus, who was also checked in. Kaus, the left-handed dribble, foul away from the ball, will be charged to the Saints.
Yeah, good screen that time by Langston, and she got plowed right through.
Bill Gore, the sophomore from Seaford, Delaware, to inbound. And the inbound pass picked off by Hadley, who then lost it to Parker Hall, and Hadley commits the foul. And, you know, Brian, you noted Hadley, the one true guard for Siena. The Saints really can't afford to be without her in this one, so she's got to avoid foul trouble, and that's not the kind of foul you want her to give up.
No, you got to keep her on the floor. She's going to have to play close to 40 minutes, and now we're going to see a really, really interesting lineup. It means Zoe Richardson is probably going to do some of the ball handling.
That was only Hadley's first personal, but a short leash because Coach Prim knows that after picking up just one foul, can't afford a second one in the first quarter. So likely to sit for the next 3:30. And like you said, that means it's a very interesting and large lineup for the Saints. Jackson, entry pass, picked off by Brown.
So it looks like Sapala is going to be doing the bulk of the ball handling.
Conde spinning on the block. Might have shuffled her feet. She did. And it is a luxury to have Teresa Sapala. She stands 6 feet tall, but she is the type of player. She's so talented and so versatile. She can almost play the 1 through the 5.
Yeah, clearly can. And, you know, we're going to see it in big doses today, especially when Hadley is out.
Kilgore got around Turi. Weak side rebound. Batted off the hands of Conde. No last touch by Cornell. So Siena basketball. Saints leading by 7. Siena shooting 6 for 8 from the floor. 75% in the early going. But the Saints have turned the ball over 5 times.
Yeah, this is a mismatch for Sapala. And we'll see if Siena tries to utilize it.
6th turnover of the quarter. Kaus, the sophomore, working against Richardson. No. Cornell now just 3 for 10 from the field. Brown asking for it, telling Sapala where to go on the floor. Diagonal ball for Richardson for 3. Splash. The Saints are 4 for 4 from the outside. Siena leads by 10.
Zoe Richardson looks like a veteran out there today. After being out with injury, she's very, very confident putting up those threes.
So Richardson 6 points on 2 for 2 shooting. Only averages 1.3 points per game. But as you said, looks very comfortable in that role.
Yeah, she's a very talented player. And again, the injury thing really slowed her progress. But this has to be really good for both her confidence and Coach Prim.
In fact, Richardson already has a career high with 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Her previous high, scored 3 points at Washington back in November. 3 ball for Cornell, and they got it. Emily Pate stepping back and knocking it down.
Yeah, she's not a very prolific three-point shooter, but she definitely is a scorer.
Hadley on the hesitation, lost the handle. It went right to Turi, off of Cornell.
Yeah, you can see the strategy. Siena's trying to go inside, and Cornell is trying to do a lot of drive-bys against the taller players.
Out for Sapala. Hadley to the free throw line. Awkward shot. She drew contact, but she traveled first.
Yeah, I'm surprised Siena isn't trying to isolate and get Sapala down on the block. She's got a size mismatch.
Siena shooting now 7 for 9, but again, that scorching start from the field, somewhat offset by the 7 turnovers. Sapala jumping the passing lane, and the Saints come up with the turnover of their own. Hadley weaving her way into the front court. A minute to play in the first quarter. Sapala looked at the rim, out to Conde, who's got a 3 in this game. Off to Turi now, puts up the shot, no. Conde tries to keep it alive, but can't.
Yeah, Siena with this size advantage should really be able to hit the offensive glass.
Kilgore walks it across the timeline. Screen set by Pape. Kilgore double team, now into the hands of Pape. Feeding Parker Hall, who's fouled.
Yeah, Parker Hall is another strong post player. There's the pass in. Clearly a block by Conde.
Parker Hall is a terrific free throw shooter. 89% on the season, and this is the first free throw attempt for either team in the game.
Yeah, it's always a really big advantage when your post player is a near 90% foul shooter, because she's probably going to go to the line more than maybe guards. And we jinxed her.
We did. However, she turns it into a three-point play. Cornell gets the rebound. Summer Hall lays it in. Cornell within 4. Sapala turns it over, the 8th turnover, and now Cornell possessing, chipping away at what was a 10-point deficit, now within 4 and possession and a chance to hold for 1.
And that's the second carry I've seen in 2 games. You rarely see that called, but 2 straight games we've seen it.
Kilgore burning some clock. Hadley back in with the foul. Pape finds her spot from the elbow, no. 3 seconds left on the clock. Offensive glass for Cornell. So that's 4 second chance points in the final 30 seconds or so of the quarter. And Cornell pulls within 2. An 8-0 run for the Big Red. Siena, however, maintaining a lead at the end of 1. 77, a quality win for the men's team. Siena was a double-digit underdog in that contest, but had 5 players in double figures scoring, so the Siena men improved to 6-7 on the season. And now it's the women's turn, trying to take down the Big Red. Cornell on an 8-0 run after Siena had opened up a 17-7 lead. The problem in the first quarter, though, for Siena, not shooting the basketball 70% from the floor, but Brian, 8 turnovers, and you think back to that Niagara game where Siena was able to beat the Purple Eagles, but turned the ball over 35 times. It was a little bit better as Parker Hall is going to head to the free throw line. A little bit better against Canisius, turning the ball over just 18 times, but now kind of reverting back to having trouble protecting the basketball.
Yeah, and that goes hand in hand with only having 1 guard on the floor. You know, they're playing fast. Hadley has 4 assists, but she's also got 4 turnovers. Yeah. So, they've got to do a little bit better protecting the ball because they're going to get shots against this defense.
Parker Hall makes the first of 2. Now a 9-0 run for Cornell. The Big Red have made 3 of their last 4 from the field. And we're tied at 17 apiece. Hadley blows by Kilgore. Great feed for Brown. Was able to feign the shot and dump it off underneath to Anaja Brown, who now has 6 points. And Summer Parker Hall doing work on the interior for Cornell.
Well, that's the second time that Siena fell asleep after a made basket. And post players for Cornell getting wide open layups.
Turi creating space for herself and scoring as Turi has her first points of the game.
Yeah, it's interesting. Siena and Coach Prim, they are not slowing the pace. They are playing as fast as they always do. And that's going to generate more turnovers with less guards.
Sapala picks up the personal, her first.
Yeah, Siena has to do a little bit better job of communicating those screens. That's the second time they've blasted through the screener.
Timeout Saints, and that'll lead us to a break as well. Siena leads Cornell 21-19 in the second quarter. Showing the veteran leadership right now for Cornell.
Yeah, Pape and Parker Hall play really well together. We saw on the video a backdoor cut by Parker Hall and a pass by Pape. So when you have that kind of interaction post to post, it usually means success.
Averaging 12 points per game this season, just a point behind Emily Pape. Siena's playing an Ivy League opponent for the second time this season. The Saints played at Penn. Their third game of the year, lost 78-47. Siena dropped its first 4 games of the season, but the Saints have won 5 of 6 since.
Yeah, a lot of that turnaround success was Teresa Sapala returning from Finland.
Yeah, that's right. She missed the first 3 games serving national team duty. Siena's only loss in the last 6 games was a 2-point defeat at home to Binghamton. With 2 on the shot clock, a desperation attempt by Emily Pape, but she coolly knocks it down. Cornell has its first lead since 3-2.
Yeah, Pape is 2 for 2 out there, so she's got no fear.
Both teams are a perfect 3 for 3 from distance. Brown misses, Pape the rebound. Engels finds Parker Hall. Got stuck underneath the basket. The kick out for Pape. And that is the first miss from the outside in this game after 6 consecutive makes. The Siena bench thought it was all ball for Anaja Brown, but she will pick up the personal. And for Brown, that is her second. We'll see if she remains in the game with 2. She does for now.
Yeah, she definitely got her with the body. On that type of play, Brown would have been better off to beat Parker Hall to the spot. She trailed her, and that's always a really tough spot to be in as a defender.
The 5th and 6th free throws of the game for Summer Parker Hall. She's the only player who has gone to the free throw line in this contest. And she has made 5 of 6. Cornell in front by 3, largest lead of the game for the Big Red. Conde. Bounce pass to the interior for Sapala, goes up with the left hand and scores.
Yeah, that's a mismatch that Siena has to try to utilize. 5'6" Engels trying to guard 6-foot Sapala.
Sapala has scored in double figures in 16 consecutive games going back to last season. She has 7 in this one to lead Siena. Parker Hall finds the cutting. Engels, no. And an offensive foul. It's Lexi Green on the rebound. So Saints ball out of bounds.
Yeah, Siena switched to a little bit of a matchup 2-3 zone, and they did not do a very good job of talking to cutters, but they did get the foul on the box out.
Conde between the rings. And now Hadley in for Turi. May have stepped out of bounds. No, she was fouled. And that was Parker Hall. They say don't mind Parker Hall picking up fouls. It's her first.
Yeah, that was a tough angle drive. Turi kind of got bailed out by that foul because even if she got by, she wasn't going to be able to do anything with the ball.
Sapala whips it over to Conde. Now Hadley a touch, 10 on the shot clock for Price. Dribbling away from the hoop with 5 to shoot. Sapala for 3, no. Back iron, and the rebound to Parker Hall.
Yeah, again, Siena's going to want to get Sapala in the post.
Langston for Engels. Parker Hall. Saints throw a double team at her. They find the cutting Langston, who will head to the free throw line.
Parker Hall did a really good job of stepping through that double team and found the cutter. And again, that's a really, really bad foul. Really bad foul. She was under the basket, little chance to score, and you bail her out.
Five of the 8 players who have seen game action so far for Cornell hail from the state of Illinois. Kelsey Langston among them, the freshman from Wilmette, Illinois. Misses the first free throw.
Yeah. And the important outcome of that whole thing is now Hadley has 2 fouls. 2 fouls for Hadley. If she gets another one, she's going to be out. Then Sapala is going to have to be a point guard.
Hadley, the stop and start. Swings it around. 3 ball from Price. No. Angles waiting for reinforcements. Langston and Siena forgot about Emily Pape. That's not somebody to lose on a defensive assignment.
That's the 3rd time Siena has not found somebody running to the rim.
Yep, carried it. So 2nd time in this game the Saints have turned the ball over on a carry. The positive for Siena after 8 turnovers in the first quarter. That was just the first turnover of the second quarter. However, Cornell has built a 4-point lead after Siena led by as many as 10 in the first. Into the corner for Pape. She started jogging down the court. She thought it was in. The ball was halfway down. Pop back out. First down the floor was Turi. She'll kick it back out to Hadley. Now Brown going to work up with the left hand and good.
Good move by Brown. They're going to need more of that.
Brown has 8 points, Saints within a bucket. Pape angles at the free throw line and overthrows Parker Hall. Tipped by a Saint. Green, the pretty fine for Pape. She now has 12 points for Cornell. Sapala, point blank range, couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, those are the shots she's going to have to hit.
Pape and Parker Hall have combined for 21 of Cornell's 29 points. That one was offensive, so it won't count.
Yeah, good job of the Siena defender stepping right in and drawing the charge. There's Price, got her feet set, squared her shoulders.
It was Price who drew the charge. Hadley probing. Brown. Price. Off the screen, set by Brown. Finds Turi underneath the hoop and scores.
Great look by Price. You know, she's very athletic, but she's also a really good passer.
Angles. For 3, yes, Emily Pape once more. She now has 15 first half points. She averages 13 a game.
Yeah, her 3-point shooting looks a lot better than 30% for her
Yeah, it does.
for her season.
Brown will head to the free throw line.
I mean, she's 4 for 5, and even the one miss was around and out. So she's a very versatile player. There it was. A lot of confidence, got it, went right up, and she was actually contested too, and still made the shot.
Brown makes the first. Pape, 32% 3-point shooter. Mentioned this stat back in the first quarter. The Cornell for the season shooting just 23% from the outside, but now 4 for 6 in this one. Pape has 3. Angles has the other triple for the Big Red.
Yeah, I'm thinking that 32% might be a typo. Maybe it's 52% because she looks really natural shooting that.
Cornell in front by 3, 4 minutes to play in the first half. Zapala having to guard the point guard. Kilgore stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, Siena's back into the zone, I think, trying to avoid some foul trouble. And they have to be sure they don't give up dribble penetration.
Hadley has 6 assists in this half, running the point for the Saints. Just one true guard on the floor for Siena, one true guard active for Siena, with Baby Jackson out with a foot injury. Entry ball for Zapala, who earns a chip to the free throw line.
Yeah, that was a good look by Brown going right into the post. Look at all the injured guards. 1, 2, 3. The Siena, doing as much as they can without guards on the floor. Baby Jackson, Alden Yergi, Valencia Fontanelle Passon, Hooker, O'Hanlon.
As you rattled them off there from right to left. Zapala knocks down her free throw. Siena back within 1. The Baby Jackson foot injury, somewhat of a surprise.
Yeah. And as I said, I spoke with Coach Prim before the game. He said, nobody feels sorry for us. We're going to have to do the best we can with it. Next warming up, somebody else is going to get to play a little bit more. And today that's been Zoe Richardson.
And Richardson 2 for 2 from the field, both 3-pointers. Cornell back in front by 3. Angles able to get it to go.
Yeah, good move by Angles. Siena has to tighten this defense a little bit, not allow that penetration.
Turi. Brown has the size advantage. Up with the left hand, no. Turi fighting for the rebound, and she's fouled. Terrific effort from Esther Turi, the sophomore from Hungary. And that was the 5th team foul of the quarter, so Turi will shoot free throws.
Yeah, there it is. Brown was a little off balance on the shot, but Turi went in strong for the follow-up.
69% free throw shooter, all net on the first.
Yeah, she's much improved from the foul line this year. Last season, she shot 28% from the foul line, so big improvement.
What she was doing in the offseason, and look at the difference it's made. Saints back within 1. It's going the other way.
And that's the second time a Cornell player caught the ball standing on the sideline. It's kind of short and tight over in that corner, but you got to watch where your feet are.
Cornell shows pressure. Hadley the only option in the backcourt, and Siena turns it over. The pressure work. Kelsey Langston the steal and the score.
Yeah, that was not a good decision. Siena had 1 player. Cornell had 2.
Conde for 3. You bet. Ana Conde with the triple, and Siena's tied the score 36.
Yeah, that was a great job on that pressure by Cornell. Take the girl, guarding the girl out of bounds, and have her double team the inbound target, which was Hadley.
Conde's 2 for 2 in this game. Parker Hall will head back to the free throw line.
Yeah, that time Conde let Parker Hall step right in front of her. And when you foul Parker Hall, it's going to be 2 made foul shots. There's Conde. Conde looking like a shooting guard today.
Yes, she is.
She actually may be a shooting guard based on the roster composition right now on the floor.
The freshman from Madrid. So on the floor for Siena right now, you've got Conde from Spain, Esther Turi from Budapest, and then, of course, Treza Zapala from Finland. 2 more free throws for Parker Hall, who is 7 for 8 from the free throw line in this one.
We talked about the magic number for Cornell being 60. They're on pace to easily get that 60. So, that part of it, Coach has to be really, really pleased with what she's seeing out there. Coach Garner, seeing the offense doing so well.
An unnecessary foul from the Big Red puts Hadley at the free throw line. She's able to rattle in the first. It's the first point of the game for Siena's point guard, who has been distributing well. 7 first half assists, a remarkable number, and a point to go with it. Misses the second. Turi unable to secure the rebound. Cornell basketball. Full court pressure from Siena. Looking to slow down the advance of Kelsey Langston. Now the Saints will settle back into their half-court defense. Langston looks for a signal from first-year coach Emily Garner. Angles. 8 on the shot clock. Discombobulated offensive set for Cornell, so just give it to Pape and let her go to work. She misses off the glass, and here come the Saints with 90 seconds to play in the half. Siena has not led since the 8:57 mark of the second quarter, but a chance to take the lead here. Sapala, the long two-pointer is pure.
Sapala, again, just a dynamic offensive player. That time used the screen, took a little step back to clear space, and right up with the shot.
Beautiful move along the baseline and counted for Zai Kilgore.
Yeah, that was a great move, and no help defense for Siena on that baseline.
Hadley. Her career high for assists is 3. She's got 7 in the first half. Conde looking for her second triple of the game. Short. Brown fighting for glass. No, Cornell basketball with about a 10-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Cornell has made 5 of its last 6 shots from the floor, shooting 67% here in the second quarter. Pape thought about the 3. Angles thinks about it and fires. Rather, Langston, no. Shot clock turned off. Saints can hold for 1. Instead, Hadley will go right to the elbow. Misfires. Brown, the offensive rebound. It's tied up. Siena basketball with 11 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the shot Siena wanted. Hadley's a really good player, but it probably would have been better off getting it to Sapala or Brown inside.
And Brown goes off of Parker Hall. So once again, side out Saints. Now 9.7 seconds left in the half. They'll run the same inbound play, this time in for Turi. Drives and scores. Siena in front by 1. 5 seconds to play in the half. Ahead to Pape, who pulls from 28 feet and buries it. These two teams have a common opponent this season. Mentioned that Siena's only lost in its last 5 games was to Binghamton by 2 points. Cornell beat Binghamton at home 68-51, one of the Big Reds' 3 wins on the season. And also, interestingly enough, both of these teams opened the season against Army. Siena hosted Army, lost 66-56. Cornell went to Army and won that game 60-54.
Yeah, Cornell is going to be, a tough opponent in the Ivy League with Parker Hall and Pape. I mean, they are 2 quality big players. And you got Parker Hall that hits 90% of her foul shots. And you got Pape that hits 40-foot jump shots. So they're going to be a tough team. If they get any kind of guard play, they should be formidable.
Another common opponent, UAlbany. Cornell lost to the Great Danes in Albany, 54-47. Of course, Siena won the Albany Cup this year. Siena handed UAlbany its first loss of the season, 70-65. That was back on December 7th. So it will be Cornell ball to begin the second half. Paige Engels inbounding to Summer Parker Hall, who had 11 first half points, 18 first half points for Emily Pate to lead all scores. This is Kelsey Langston. Pate looking to slip the pass into Parker Hall. Saints come away with it. Hadley. Sapala. Bang! Teresa Sapala opens the second half with a 3-ball for Siena.
Yeah, that time Langston, trying to get back onto Sapala, actually ran by her, opening up the shot angle for Sapala.
Sapala now has 14 points to go with 4 rebounds, a couple of steals, and an assist. Engels finds herself all alone at the rack.
Siena has given up a lot of open layups.
And perhaps that's why Esther Turi is set to check in. Terry Prim didn't like what he saw on the defensive end of the floor. Hadley from the elbow.
Yeah, the Big Red will give Hadley that shot all day long.
This is Langston. Now Lexi Green, who only averages about 4 minutes a game, started the second half for Cornell. Engels was blocked. Here's Hadley, who has a career-high 8 assists. Conde, the kick out to Sapala. Conde could have caught that cleanly. She might have gone up with it. Instead, it's Brown banging on the interior. Pretty move, and is able to get herself to the free throw line.
That was a tight little window that Brown was able to step through to get that shot up. But Cornell did a really good job of collapsing on Brown to make it tough.
Hadley back to the bench. Siena's point guard playing with 2 personal fouls. Conde and Brown also have 2 fouls for Siena. Parker Hall, Green, and Kaus with 2 personals for Cornell.
Now with this lineup on the floor, I'd be interested to see if Cornell is going to press a little bit more to really exert pressure on Sapala bringing the ball up the floor. Let's see if they do it.
Saints stick their nose back in front, 46-45. Langston picked up by Price. Engels cutting to the hoop. The kick out to Pate. Too strong.
She's human.
Conde for Turi. Price into Brown. Guarded by Parker Hall. Spinning back to her right, the up and under. Brown lays it in. She's got 14.
That was a move that she used a lot 2 years ago. Last year, injured quite a bit. That move is a good sign for Siena.
And the Saints have their second team preseason All-MAC selection going. And Naja Brown, who's only averaged 7.7 points per game this season, has 14 in this one on 5 of 7 shooting. Here she is from the short corner. Sapala, the turnaround jump shot is good.
That should be automatic for Sapala, turning and shooting over Engels at 5'6".
Timeout Cornell. Siena has opened up the second half, outscoring Cornell 9-2, and the Saints have built a 5 for the last 2.5 minutes to open up a 50-45 lead on Cornell. This is the final non-conference game for both teams. Siena already 2-0 in the MAC. Cornell will play its Ivy League opener at Princeton on January 4th. Big Red, where selected 7th in the Ivy League in the preseason poll. Meanwhile, Siena was picked 2nd in the MAC preseason for the 2nd consecutive year. Jai Kilgore at the controls for Cornell. The sophomore from Delaware turns the corner on Price and then is cut off. 8 to shoot. Green puts it up, no. Conde the rebound. Saints +3 on the glass. Brown gaining position on Green. The kick out to Price, who will fire, no. Rebound is tracked down by Lexi Green.
Brown is looking for the ball much more aggressively than she has in recent games.
Missed some time injured, and it took her a couple of games to get back up to full speed, but certainly playing like the all-conference player from a year ago, as Pape is able to lay it in, and she's got an even 20.
Yeah, great find again by Parker Hall.
Sapala up over Pape and scores. So Sapala trying to match Pape point for point. She now has 18.
Yeah, if I was Siena, I would just pump it into Sapala until they can stop it.
Engels slipping the pass in for Parker Hall, who will head to the free throw line where she has spent quite a lot of time tonight.
Yeah, she's really good at getting position down low, and she uses her body very well to seal off the defenders, and strong with the shots, and a great foul shooter.
She'll get up her 10th free throw on this trip. The almost 90% free throw shooter, 7 for 8 in the game.
She's got an interesting foul shot. She starts with her left foot back, and as she extends up, she brings it forward. Usually you're taught you don't want to move body parts when you're going up, but it works. If you shoot 90%, that's a good way to do it.
And she is shooting 90% from the line in this game, and now 9 for 10. Siena 9 for 10 from the free throw line as a team. Brown. Sapala was doubled, left alone as Richardson. She had made her first 2 3-pointers in the first half. That's her first miss of the game. One of 6 true freshmen on this roster for the Saints. Siena in front by 3. Engels angling to the rim, left-handed shot, no. Conde is bothered by Parker Hall, and it's going to be a jump ball.
Yeah, once again, Siena gave up a fairly easy drive. Siena's got to shut that down a bit.
Timeout on the floor will take us to a timeout. Siena in front by...
Make an entry pass.
Siena with just 1 guard healthy for this game, and she's currently on the bench with a couple of fouls. KB Hadley, who has 8 assists in this game. So a large lineup of forwards for Siena. Sapala handling right now. Member of the Finnish national team, spinning, shooting, and scoring. Sapala has 20 points, Saints by 5.
That is automatic. Automatic. Siena did a good job that time of closing out on Pape.
Brown gets the block. Conde. Brown back and forth on the block. Spins up with the left hand, no. Price trying to grab the rebound, can't, so Kilgore comes away with it. Numbers for Cornell. It's a 3-on-2. Kilgore the Euro and lays it in.
Kilgore with really good footwork. Sidestep, Conde. Conde tried to draw the charge, but the ref was having no part of that, and a great move.
4 points for the sophomore. Cornell back within 3. Price. Brown. So Sapala has 20 for Siena. Pape has 20 for Cornell. Both very efficient as well. Here's Conde, has her shot blocked. Sapala 8 for 11 from the floor. Pape 8 for 14. Make it 8 for 15. Unable to convert, but Price turns it over. This is the easy pass for Sapala.
Yeah, those unforced turnovers really hurt.
Siena had turned the ball over 8 times in the first quarter, but only 3 since, so they had cleaned it up. But that was an unsightly one. Pape for 3. Doesn't get the bounce, and it bounces out for Sapala.
Yeah, Pape's finally cooled off, but all of her shots are right to the rim.
Sapala lobbing it in for Brown. The kick out to Conde. And now Price will hoist for 3. No. Rebound for Brown. Fakes to the outside. Drives to the basket and scores. Brown's got 16.
Wow. Really good move by Brown. Somehow she got the Cornell defenders to go to the outside. She spun back to the basket and was wide open.
And then Siena comes away with the turnover. The Big Red have now turned the ball over a dozen times. Richardson launching. Caught the front of the iron. Sapala with the offensive rebound. Richardson now driving baseline and turns it over.
Yeah, there was nowhere to go there on that baseline drive. Cornell did a really good job of rotating.
Cornell scoreless over the last 2 minutes to drift 5 points away from the Saints. Engels. Pape. Cornell just 3 for 9 in the third quarter, but a chance to pick up points at the free throw line.
Yeah, Price that time with a little bit too aggressive closeout on Jackson.
Coach Prim coaching Price up along the sideline. Extended break here for KB Hadley as Siena continues to roll with this larger lineup. First free throw is good for Clark Jackson, the sophomore from Columbus, Ohio, who averages 8.5 points per game. But that was her first point of the contest. Goes 2 for 2 from the line. And Hadley does check back in this time for Zoe Richardson. Richardson, a freshman from Auckland, New Zealand. Sapala doubled. Here's Hadley across midcourt. And now the Saints just settle into their half-court offense. 56-53, approaching 1 minute to play in the third quarter. Brown, who's got 16, cross-court pass. Sapala for 3, no. Brown charging after it, can't catch up to it in time. Cornell basketball.
Good defense that time by the Big Red. Forced a long 3 by Sapala.
Tracked down by Kilgore.
Yeah, Siena's switched to this 1-3-1 zone, and it's actually been fairly effective.
Foul. It'll be on Price.
Yeah, there it is. Cross-court pass. A little bit slow in reaction by Price. Clearly a foul.
This is the third team foul of the quarter. Jackson against Price. Got her in the air. Pape for Parker Hall has been quiet in this quarter. No. Conde has it. And the outlet for Hadley. Hadley screaming in to the elbow. Jump shot, no, but she'll head to the free throw line.
Yeah, good aggressive drive by Hadley. Got into the paint. Smart move to pull up and drew the foul.
Langston back into the game for Cornell. The junior from California unable to connect on the first. Just 1 point in this game for Hadley, but 8 assists, a career high. It's a 2-possession lead for Siena. Shot clock turned off here at the end of the third quarter.
Yep, Siena staying in that 1-3-1 zone.
Deflected by Zapala, and did it go off of Zapala? No, Langston got a finger to it. So Siena basketball, they turn the Big Red over for the 13th time, and now it's the Saints who can hold for one. Under 10 seconds, Conde a touch. 6 seconds, Zapala rolling to the rim, but she was covered, so it's got to be Price for three, rattled out. Rebound for Zapala, beats the buzzer. It was Cornell that walked to the locker room with the buzzer beater to end the game. Also an assist and a couple of steals for a player who you have to figure will be in contention for Conference Player of the Year come March.
Yeah, she's clearly one of the best 5 players. You know, a couple of players for Fairfield are right up there, but, you know, she's probably the most well-rounded.
Faces the basket, guarded by Green. Taking Green on, hoping to get bailed out by a whistle, doesn't. Siena playing 6 games in the month of December, all 6 games here in the UHY Center, trying to go 5 for 6. And it's a 6-point lead over Cornell. Hadley in reverse, lobs it into Brown. Working against Parker Hall, and that will be an offensive foul, the 3rd on Anaja Brown.
Good job by Parker Hall, and a good acting job, too. She went down with a vengeance, but, you know, clearly Brown lowered her shoulder a bit, but good job by Parker Hall.
Only 2 players in this game with more than 2 fouls, and that play included both of them, both Parker Hall and Brown, with 3 each. And we're going to see Pape at the free throw line. She'll have a chance to match the 22 points of Zapala.
Yep, that time the Big Red decided to attack the 1-3-1 down the baseline, and that's the weak spot of the 1-3-1 zone. So good job by the Big Red.
On that play, Hadley picked up her 3rd personal. Both of these teams shooting the ball exceptionally well from the free throw line. Cornell is now 14 for 16. The Saints 10 for 12. Zapala for 3. Count it. Teresa Zapala has 25 points. She's within 4 of her career high. Siena in front by 7.
Not much you can do there. You know, she's scoring inside, scoring outside. She's a tough guard.
Green for 3. Soaring in for the rebound was Pape, who cleans up.
Yeah, poor job that time by Siena boxing out Pape.
Zapala, why not? Looking for 28. Offensive rebound for Turi. Brown against Pape, traveled.
Yeah, Pape did a good job that time foreseeing the step-through attempt. Stood right in Brown's way, and Brown traveled.
It's just a 7-player rotation for Coach Terry Prim because of injuries. 7 healthy bodies rotating in this one. Zoe Richardson, the only player in single-digit minutes played with 8. Meanwhile, it's been an 8-person rotation in this one for Emily Garner. is able to find Parker Hall, hacked by Zapala. So Trace Zapala now with 3 fouls, and the 90% free throw shooter will head back to the line.
Yeah, that foul is kind of critical for Siena. They can't afford to have Zapala get a 4th foul. That time they switched to player-to-player, man-to-man defense. I wouldn't be stunned if they went back to the zone.
And it's a situation where you figured if you don't foul her, you're giving up an easy basket, but it's pretty easy 2 points to the free throw line, too. You'd almost rather Zapala not give up the 3rd foul.
Yeah, I would say so. You know, you need her on the floor.
Automatic for Parker Hall, who is now 11 out of 12 from the free throw line, 11 of her 15 points from the stripe. And that's the 3rd time in this game Siena has turned the ball over on a carry. Hadley goes back to the bench.
Yep, as predicted, they're back to the 1-3-1 zone, it looks like. Look for the Big Red to go to the baseline.
Turi trying to be Parker Hall the ball. Zapala, it's going to be a kick. So side out to the Big Red. The shot clock will reset to 20. Parker Hall spinning against Richardson, misfires.
Good defense that time by the Saints.
Zapala for Turi, spinning to her left, and she'll go to the line.
Yeah, Turi got bailed out a bit on that. She was fading away, probably unlikely to make the shot. So, you know, the Big Red would have been better off just letting her put that shot up.
Turi misses on the first. The sophomore from Budapest averages about 4.5 points and 4 rebounds in 22 minutes per game. But she has double that in this one. 9 points for Turi. Siena up by 2 possessions. Langston turned around by Zapala. Now she finds the space in the zone, way off left, and out of bounds to Siena. Cornell was red hot from the outside to start the game. They knocked down their first 3 3-pointers, but just 2 for 9 since.
Yeah, Siena's done a little bit better job contesting the shooters.
Turi puts it on the floor, pulls up, no, misses the rim, kept alive Richardson, the kick out. Price for 3, short. Brown, the offensive rebound, a 3rd attempt on this possession, and Siena gets it to go, Zariah Price.
Brown a little slow getting up on that collision.
Baseline jump shot, good. Summer Parker Hall is up to 17 points. So Brian, Cornell gets to that magic number you talked about, 61 points, but Siena is shooting better than 50% in this game. Langston for Engels. Out for Green. That's back-to-back air balls from the outside for Cornell, and mentioned it, not a great 3-point shooting team this season, just 22% from the outside, and now that's starting to show here in the 4th.
Yeah, Siena will give that shot all day long. You know, they want to contest, obviously, Pape, but most of the other shooters, they're okay letting that 3-point shot go up.
Conde. Into Brown. She has good position on Parker Hall, forced to kick it out and turns it over on the travel. That's really well done defensively by Summer Parker Hall.
Yeah, great defense that time. Usually Brown has a feel for which way to go. And on that possession, if she had just spun to the baseline, she had the shot.
Kilgore penetrating, now back out beyond the arc. Parker Hall working against Richardson. Sticking her hand in was Conde. The personal is going to go on Conde. Nope, maybe not. I think they got Richardson with it. Yep. So second on Richardson. And Cornell just 2 for 7 from the field in this fourth quarter, but able to keep contact of the Saints because Parker Hall is just eating at the free throw line.
Yeah, if they can get the ball to Parker Hall and create fouls, those are going to be 2 points each possession.
$12 for 13 from the free throw line in this game. Another one coming. Parker Hall is up to 19 points to go with 24 from Pate.
Siena's done a pretty good job breaking the pressure without a true guard on the floor.
Conde. Sapala. Cornell in his zone. Price for 3. No. 43 of Cornell's 63 points have come from Parker Hall and Pate. Not sure about this stoppage. There's 5:07 to play in the game.
They didn't start the shot clock. So they're taking 3 seconds off, so we're at 27.
Kilgore. Gets around Price into the corner for angles. No. Jump ball. Arrow goes Cornell's way.
Yeah, Siena went back that there. So she's within reach to get that career high.
That last highlight you saw there was to beat the buzzer at the end of the first half. 6 rebounds to go with those 24 points. Is Cornell basketball an opportunity to tie with this Pate layup? And they do. She's got 26 within 1 of that career high you just mentioned. And we're not at it. It's 65 apiece.
That was trickery. Kilgore came around looking like she was going to get the handoff. It was a fake handoff. And then Pate just spun and went to the basket. Nobody was there.
Price had missed 8 of her first 9 shots from the field, but knocked down a big one there for the Saints. She's got 4. Siena back in front by 2.
Yeah, I think Big Red's strategy is to let Price shoot threes.
From the corner, no. Cornell now 0 for 7 from three-point land in the second half. Conde didn't realize that pass was for her as it sails out of bounds.
Yeah, Siena with about their 5th totally unforced turnover. Possessions here are going to be really important in the last 4 minutes of the game.
Parker Hall jump shot rattles in.
Parker Hall is really heating up.
She's now eclipsed 20 points. Richardson for her 3rd triple of the game. No. Reaching for the rebound is Kilgore. Kilgore trying to go coast to coast. No, but she'll go to the free throw line as Price picks up her 3rd. Cornell has not led in the 4th quarter, but an opportunity to take the lead here. Zai Kilgore The sophomore from Seaford, Delaware, will shoot 2. No on the first. The second is good, and the Big Red in front. Mentioned Cornell struggles in the second half shooting the ball from the outside. Siena has missed 11 of its last 12 from distance, and the Saints turn it over for the 18th time. Kilgore for 3, buries it.
Big shot right there by Kilgore.
Timeout, Terry Prim. Cornell on a 6-0 run to take a 4-point lead.
Game, so you're utilizing Sapala as your primary ball handler.
Conde, Sapala. It burned up 15 seconds, yet to penetrate inside the arc. Sapala briefly back outside, finds Conde at the free throw line. Conde flips it up, no. Cornell comes away with it, so Saints one and done.
Yeah, Cornell's doing a good job of keeping the ball away from Sapala.
Pate. Kilgore. From the elbow, no. Conde the rebound. Sapala has 25 points, gives it up to Price. Inside to Brown, who has 16, working against Summer Parker Hall. Parker Hall coming over on the double, had it away from Toure, but couldn't keep it in bounds. 13 on the shot clock for the Saints.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised pass. Toure was sandwiched with 2 Cornell players.
In for Conde, who couldn't handle the inbound. Does it stay in bounds? No. Bounces on the tape. Fortunate for Siena, and the shot clock did reset. Timeout, Saints. Coach Prim's got 1 left.
Yeah, this is a big possession. They really need to get a score here.
This is the final non-conference game for Siena, so all MAC the rest of the way, beginning with a trip to Manhattan on January 2nd. They'll stay downstate to take on Iona, New Rochelle on the 4th of January, and then 3 games at home, Quinnipiac, Sacred Heart, and Merrimack. For Cornell, mentioned they've yet to play a conference game. Ivy League play begins January 4th at Princeton, at home for Columbia and Pennsylvania before going back on the road for Brown, then the return game against the Tigers.
3 really tough games on that schedule. Penn really did a number on Siena, and Princeton is year in, year out one of the top Ivy Leagues schools. So they play 3 out of the first 5 games against those 2 teams.
Couple of Siena fans happen to be on TV.
Good dance moves.
Yeah. Well, this has been an exciting game for Siena and Cornell fans alike. Big Red in front, 71-67. This is the most points that Cornell has scored in a game this season. Oh, the Saints turn it over. Hijacking the inbounds pass was Jackson, who lays it in.
That was not a good look.
A gut punch for Siena. It's 20th turnover of the game. They'll need points quickly. Blocking foul. It will not be free throws. In fact, that's just the second team foul of the quarter for Cornell. So ball out of bounds for the Saints. And just sloppy on the inbounds.
Yeah, you got Brown standing 2 feet from you to get it in. You try to throw a long skip pass, easy steal for the Big Red.
Brown from the free throw line, well off the mark. Zapala the rebound and one. That rebound gives Teresa Zapala a double-double. She now has 27 points, and this free throw can get the Saints back within a possession.
Yeah, good offensive rebounding position by Zapala. Jackson just leaned into her a little bit, but they gave her the call.
What a huge offensive rebound as Zapala converts the and one. Siena within 3, 95 seconds to go.
Yeah, and it's interesting. That's Zapala's first shot attempt in probably 2 minutes of play. No need to foul.
Timeout taken by Emily Garner as Kilgore was very close to stepping on the line for an over and back. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Fun finish we've got in store for you here in Loudonville. Saints 5-5 on the season. Siena, after starting the season 0-4, has won 5 of its last 6 games. Meanwhile, for Cornell, looking for a little momentum heading into Ivy League play. Started the season with a win at Army West Point, then lost 5 of the next 6. But playing tough games. They lost to Rutgers on the schedule. A loss to New Albany back when the Great Danes were still undefeated. They've also lost to Northwestern and St. Bonaventure this season. The first meeting between Siena and Cornell in 44 years, and it's been a good one.
Yeah, Coach Garner has to be ecstatic with the offensive performance.
Emily Garner in her first season at Cornell played her college ball in Lafayette. Mentioned earlier, but if you're just joining us, the Siena men played at Cornell earlier today and upset the Big Red. So Siena trying to get the daily double against the Ivy squad today, but it's Cornell with the advantage here. 3-point lead on the ball, 80 seconds to go. Kilgore with 13 on the shot clock.
Yeah, Siena doesn't want to foul here.
6 seconds, 5. Now Kilgore to drive. The kick out. Angles beats the shot clock. Paige Angles with 9 points. Cornell back in front by 5.
Huge shot by Angles on that. Drive on the baseline, dropped it right in. Siena taking way too much time to get offense set up.
Brown misses Zapala. Siena turns it over for the 21st time this season. Now, Brown has a career-high 4 assists in this game, but Brian, really, it seems like it's evident now that Siena is missing having a true guard on the floor.
Yeah, that was clearly a case, and Siena really needs to foul here.
Down 5, 40 seconds to go. They haven't yet. Angles, by the way, has 11. I gave her credit for 9, so she's in double figures scoring. They still haven't fouled. You can't play it straight up. There'll only be 13 seconds left. You're down 2 possessions.
Yeah.
Stunning that Siena hasn't given the foul. And now they finally do after giving up 19 seconds.
Yeah, 19 seconds there is much more important than the foul.
Especially considering that's just the.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, they're shooting.
They are now shooting. Okay. Yeah.
But the wasted time really.
Yep.
Is going to be the factor.
Yep, so Cornell in the bonus, so shooting free throws here, a chance to go up by 7. It's Kilgore at the free throw line.
And I have to say, Kilgore was dribbling. She looked a little bit like Tay Firefly Fisher of Siena and Harlem Globetrotter lore.
Two free throws could have made it a 3-possession game, so that was a critical miss. Knocks down the second. Siena within 6. Timeout. 25 seconds left. So, Brian, in theory, enough time where you don't necessarily need a three-pointer. A three would be nice, but the Saints have really struggled from the outside as of late. After going 3 for 3 from distance in the first quarter, Siena just 3 for 17 the rest of the way.
Yeah, with only 25 seconds and you're down 2 full possessions, I think they do need a three now. Because even if they get a quick 2, they're still down 4. If you can get the 3 quickly, you try to get the 3, try to get a good shot, somebody off the screen. And it's a smart move here by Siena to have Sapala inbound versus Price. And look for the pass to go to someone and right back to Sapala.
Price flashing free. And now Sapala asking for it exactly as you drew it up, Brian. Sapala for 3. They got it. Siena within a bucket. 18.6 seconds to go.
Sometimes you call them right and sometimes you don't. But that was the play. Because the forgotten person is often the person taking the ball out of bounds. So Siena did a good job getting it right back to Sapala. Little shot fake, got space, up with the three-pointer.
A career high 31 points to go with 10 rebounds for Teresa Sapala. Cornell with a 3-point advantage. They'll take the ball out of bounds. So certainly Siena is going to pressure.
Yeah, what Siena has to do here, they got to take one shot at getting a steal and then foul right away. They can't let the clock run down and then foul, because then they've got limited time and they're out of timeouts.
And deny number 24 the basketball. That's Summer Parker Hall, a 90% free throw shooter. And they get the tie up, and it's Siena ball.
Wow.
It went into Clark Jackson. Siena sent 3 bodies at her. And Siena with life.
That was about as ideal as it possibly could have been for the Saints.
Now, in this situation, they could go for a quick 2. They'd have to do it quickly. Instead, Sapala dribbles off her foot, has it back. It's probably going to have to be a three-pointer now. Sapala, 3 seconds. Sapala, 1 second, doesn't get the shot off. Smothering defense from the Big Red. Siena looking for a three-pointer, maybe to force overtime. Instead, Brian, they never get it off.
No, that was a really good defensive stand by the Big Red. They knew Sapala was going to shoot,
right,
and it looked like every single defender